That's boom.
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 New
Okay.
intro?
No, I haven't used it in a while.
Oh,
So,
okay.
how is it going?
Oh, it's going. How you doing?
This comment made me laugh. He's catching up and he sees I go live again. So,
See,
I
I'm
don't know.
sure. Like, I want to say the last live that you did, which was last night. Like, I was confident that people would see the recording at least.
Yeah. Well, got to get the videos in before March Madness because why the hell would you make content for the next like 5 days? It's all basketball, so might as well
That
do
is
it
fair.
tonight.
Yep, quite fair.
I got to fill out my bracket still. Not quite done yet. It's all right.
Oh, safest bet is inversing my bracket. I never do a good bracket.
I used to do pretty well. Like I would look at like conference versus records
Hmm.
and then injury reports, go from
Yep.
there. So there was one year, it was a while ago now. It's probably like 8, 10 years ago. I got it was 30 or 31 of the first round games right. So it was wild. I only got like one or two wrong. I was like, holy shit. I think I was like top 20 on ESPN. So excited. Second round comes and it's just like fucking blew it. I got like 10 of 16 right in the second round. Killed me. So,
Ah,
but there's never been a perfect verified bracket.
yep.
There's never been people have said that it exists, but verified, like
Yes.
from a major gambling or ESPN or something.
Hmm.
So the odds are not in your favor to ever have that happen. So I think someone came close. They got 2 picks wrong, I think. That might be the
Dang.
best I ever saw.
Jeez.
Yeah. People have been close, but no one's ever not the perfect one. So anyways, so
Yep.
Lincoln, I don't know if Lincoln's here. He's probably working or something. He can watch later.
Hmm.
So Lincoln asked if I could go over SCHD.
Yep.
Um, I didn't intend to do a specific video on separately. I was thinking maybe I would have covered it in a live stream, but I wanted to talk about some other stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. You laid out an extensive plan going forward of things that you want to release.
mm, I don't know. We'll see. I think I really do like you have to be careful because when you say international, people think all the world. It's like no, no,
Hmm.
no, no, not all the world.
Hmm.
There's still I still think emerging markets are a pile of shit. I've thought that for a long time. I think emerging markets are an underperforming asset, and I don't see it ever turning around anytime soon. So it's more targeted international at this point. And so far, I've done better than if you compared me to like Schwab's ex US.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah.
better than them.
Yeah.
So it's working. But I think you have to under the currency and the political risks. Um, some people think investing in every country because you don't know who's gonna. That's like yeah, but you can kind of make assumptions based on history of the country, who's the political part, how the policies operate. Is there a history of them seizing companies from the West?
Hmm.
Hint, hint. There's countries like that. I don't
Yeah.
want to be invested in them. So, in a certain continent, they're very well known for just seizing Western companies' assets. out of the blue. And also, these same countries from this mystery continent also have terrible issues with inflation and runaway inflation and currency issues and deforestation. So, anyways, so
That
you
narrowed it down a whole lot.
no, I don't know who you're talking about, but anyways, so we'll get to this the reconstitution. Um,
Yes.
I thought about naming it like the reconfiguration. Thought it sounded cooler. Reconstitution sounds really stupid and boomer.
Yeah. It
It is
it
what it
does.
is.
Yeah, like it comes out with a clean Google search for what
Right.
that's worth.
Most funds for people like well, there was a fund that operated differently. I can't remember which one it was I reviewed. I think it was cows. It was one of the
Probably.
ones I reviewed, cows or moat. They
Yeah.
had two separate funds that reconfigured every 6 months.
Mhm.
It was one of those 2. I don't know, you could look at the video. That was kinda interesting.
Yeah.
So, they had it was almost 2 funds. It was 2 ETF baskets, and then they, like, skip each other as they
Yep.
reconfigure. I think it was Moat, but I could be wrong. So, that was interesting. Most of them, though, are like this. Once a
Mhm.
year, they reconfigure the dang thing, and then they rebalance based on those configurations every quarter. Um, so be it. So, here is SCHD's rebalanced. Let's go this is they don't have anything on the website, which was
Yeah.
really annoying. Like, you go to SCHD's website, there's not even, like, a news or document to tell you what they did. Um, like, what the hell? Schwab's failing at that. So you have to go to, like, Seeking Alpha where someone was able to, like, print out before and after to show you what was different. Uh, I
Mhm.
didn't I didn't do it, but so here is this one article. Okay. So Lincoln wants my opinion, I guess. So here we go. Stocks eliminate or just before we start this.
Yep.
So here's the index construction rules. I did the video. So here it is.
Yep.
So, well, I know
Refresher.
I'm butthurt about certain stocks removed from it, but free cash flow to debt, return on equity, which I don't think is a great metric. There's better ways, but so be it. Individual annual dividend. This is like current dividend yield, and
Mhm.
then 5-year average growth rate. So that's it. That's how they decide these things. There's nothing here about quality. I think people get really annoyed that they're like, "What about like broad? Okay, like what about Broadcom?" There's no metric of quality of those. There's nothing quality, right? So at this point, Broadcom has been a mega success. It carried this last year. Um, so I thought SCHD last year would perform terribly, which it did because it had you could see, the regional bank crisis hit, and you could go look, and a significant portion of SCHD is financial regional banks. So I thought last year would be a crappy year for them, which it pretty much was. Um, so interestingly, though, they pulled out a lot of financials, but then they also added a lot. So again, like there's no metric for compensating for the regional bank crisis. There was nothing in those five index formulas that would say, "Oh, when there's a economic crisis, remove regional banks." Like, so this is what you do when you get a computer running these things with a methodology. But um, so here's the one. What stands out to you that was removed that you're like, that's dumb? What do you think? These are the ones
Oh,
removed.
the ones that were removed.
Yeah. Are there any outrageous ones? You're like, how dare you? But
Um, from a cyclicality perspective, I think if we care about asset appreciation, Tyson is probably positioned well for a year, maybe. But
oh, interesting. I
yeah,
didn't
but
think
like
you'd
that
go that angle.
that
Interesting.
yeah, that I didn't know. 3M is interesting just because like I also have been along with you as far as digging along and taking a look at things.
So by the
Um,
way, I listened to like 30 minutes of the investor day. Um, and then I had to turn it off. It was so damn boring.
yeah,
Then I waited till they did the QA session like an hour later. I listened to 30 minutes of that, and I was bored to tears. I think they barely said anything substantial. There was like one question about like their what their plans are to like increase profitability or something like that.
yeah,
And then they just gave the softball answer. I'm like, this is such a waste of time. I
yeah,
was I was kind of bummed out. So um, but I'm more interested in the 3M side. So
yeah.
they
Same
were
here.
just all these were the spin-off executives, and a bunch of
Yep.
them are new, which I found interesting. like half the people up there were like, "Hi, I'm brand new to this company." Then they had a few long time or 3M people there, like to soothe investors, is what I was
Oh,
taking from it. But
alrighty.
um, so you think
It's
Tyson should have stayed in because you think the recovery play.
Yeah, it's not even from a dividend perspective, so it's stupid. It's just like my own like my own stupidity, I guess, or my own new or details. Um, Again, and that's if we care about asset appreciation, but it's dividend, so like I get why it's not. Um,
So did they raise the dividend? Okay, so they barely raised the
yeah,
dividend
they
last year,
barely.
which isn't so outside of this company doesn't raise their dividend
No,
very not substantially. So
yeah,
that probably handicapped them in the criteria because you can see they
yeah.
started at 48 and they only did 1
Hmm.
penny increase at
Yes,
the end of the year. So that's probably what did them in. Um,
really,
and again, like
really.
we're talking, there's no criteria for stock appreciation.
Hmm.
They're not looking at stock appreciation or any of those type of metrics. It's more like debt and yield and growth of yield for this fund. So there's a story that Tyson could do well at this point, like you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Food prices, inflation could get under control, so their input prices could come down, and you know, I
that's
hate this business. I
I
honestly hate. I hate
yeah.
commodity businesses like this.
Yeah, this is not a long-term hold
There's
forever.
no such thing as defensible margins with something
Yeah,
like this. Tyson can be as big as they want. They don't set the prices for chicken and pork. It's what the market bears, and I can't
mhm,
stand it.
yeah,
So I don't know. So I'm glad they took it out.
yep. No,
Honestly.
yeah, yeah, I get it, I get it, like, most
Um,
conditions, yeah, firmly agree, but what
like
would you say is the one that
Broadcom is gonna piss people off because
I think so too.
Broadcom I mean,
Yeah,
well, put it like I think Broadcom started because the max that allocation to SCHD is 4% in the
mhm,
prospectus. So I don't remember. Let's assume it came in at 4%. So that it carried the fund, right? So it ended at 5.45. So this carried the fund last year. And Merck performed excellent, which is a great pharmaceutical
oh, yeah,
company.
yeah, yeah,
Sucks that that's gone, but it did run a lot. So the
mhm,
fund, the stock appreciates, which draws down the yield, which is one of the criteria. So as the stock kills it, right? This was probably a yield of like 2.2% at the beginning of the year. Now it's down to 1.5 because the stock did so dang well. So their criteria kind of punishes,
yes,
you could say, good performing stocks the way SCHD is constructed. It's just it's a byproduct of how they've constructed this, that if a stock has runaway success like this, it gets punished in the criteria and out it goes. Also, if a really good company has one bad year where they don't raise the dividend, like COVID,
mhm,
they will get punished for that too, potentially. So, so these are, these two companies, did great last year. It's probably
yeah,
the two best winners in this from last year. So that's kind of a bummer. ADP, good year. I
mhm,
own ADP. I don't know. I would never sell ADP. It's
oh,
such a great. I call it. It's a tech company. I don't call it industrial. It's a tech company to me. So, but winners get punished to some.
yes,
Winners don't keep winning in SCHD.
no,
They get their heads cut off. So that's the way this thing is. Its prospectus is about appreciation of the yield. It's a high dividend yield fund that seeks appreciating dividends, qualified dividends.
mhm,
So, yeah. So taking Broadcom out, I mean, I don't think any person would have taken Broadcom out.
yeah,
Honestly, Merck, you could have had an argument that looking at the pipeline, maybe it ran a little too far. Maybe you did want to trim it. Um, Maybe not pull it out, but maybe just trim it down to a smaller holding.
mhm,
Completely got out of it. So those two are interesting. Blackstone had a great year, which I think I talked about it. They took out a big loan like a year and a half ago because they were going to be primed to buy properties during the real estate, expected troubles as the interest rates went up. And then I think that they ended up not buying a lot of stuff, and then they had this huge. They took all this equity out, and then it's like I think they paid debt down,
mhm,
but I don't follow Blackstone too much. 3M, like you said, that one we I don't think 3M's resurgence is in a year.
No.
I think this is a longer term idea. So I don't hate that. And honestly, like if I was new management, 3M man, I'd cut that dividend in half right away.
Might as
Focus
well.
on paying off the liabilities from the earplugs,
Yeah.
getting the debt paid down. But the spinoff, I sent in the group chat. The spinoff is paying them, which is not untypical. That's typical actually.
Hmm.
So the spinoff, which I can't say it for life of me, is paying 3M, and then so I'm sure that the spinoff is going to carry that debt, which Master Brand did that too. The one I bought, same idea. Master Brand took out debt to pay for the spinoff with the parent company, and then they focus on paying that debt down to a certain leverage amount. So it's not like a death sentence, but that's good for 3M potentially.
Yeah.
It didn't work out that great for AT&T though. So far, hasn't seemed to make much of a dent in AT&T.
It's so big.
Yeah. So other ones here. Do you know what this is?
No,
Telenova? D
like
What
the
do you
name
think
rings
it
a
is?
bell, but
I know what it is.
something food related. Oh,
Yes.
Kellogg.
Yes.
Okay, alrighty.
Did you know this?
I I totally
Kellogg
forgot. Yeah, that.
split the company. They
Yeah.
spun off the cereal business. So, I don't is this the cereal business side?
I want to say they
It
start off with what Kellogg's and Campbell's.
manufactures snacks and convenience foods. So, I don't think this is the cereal business. So, the
Oh,
company got into 2,
yeah.
cereal business and then, like, the snack. So, this is probably the snack side of it.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, they were just trying to create some value. I
Yeah.
don't know. I honestly don't know why you'd ever buy Kellogg's freaking stock. What are you doing? What a boring investment. So there's that. So good riddance to that.
Yeah.
International Paper.
Hey, International Paper. I left them on the back burner for too long. I don't know what they've been up to,
Didn't
but
they just killed it 10%, like some
it
day
was,
last week? It just all of a sudden flew.
yeah, like it was one of those where I
Right
was
there.
like,
Yeah, it did. It
yeah,
did.
yeah. I thought to myself, maybe
Look at
there's
that.
something there, and never went in.
Did they have okay, here we go. I was like, they
Yep.
didn't have earnings. I didn't hear about it. Change in leadership
Oh, okay.
causes
Alrighty.
shares to spike.
Yeah, because like the concern was like there's no clear catalyst for
Okay. I know nothing about
this.
this company. So
It, like if people like packaging companies, this and like one uh, one or two other people are like the big boys, and like they each have their own little niche as far as what they do with packaging.
okay.
But yeah, yeah. So
Good
it,
riddance, I guess.
yep, maybe too macro sensitive.
So other than that, Paramount, good
Yep.
riddance.
Yeah. Good
Smart
riddance.
move. Get
Yep.
rid of that hot garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, the entertainment business is so the players are set and there's only a few that are really doing well, and then the rest of them are just going to be struggle bus. So I
Yep.
don't, and this is one of the struggle bus ones. So, and my God, the dumbest thing when they said they want to merge with Warner Brothers, it's like, let's take this
Oh
pile
yeah.
of shit, merge it with this pile of shit, and we get a bigger pile of shit.
All the debt.
All the debt, all the debt. Are you kidding me? Like, have they not learned? Like, look at what Disney's done. Like what Disney did, they raised prices, they
Yep.
cut spending, and they worked on profitability
Hmm.
of their online segment, and they're almost profitable last quarter. They were
Yeah.
just on, I think they broke even. But they were
Yep.
always huge losses on the streaming side, but they were just about to turn the crank all the way to profitable. So, and these like Peacock, Paramount, Warner Brothers, none of them have figured it out. So, I mean, if Warner Brothers didn't have that debt pile, it's a different discussion. That one I like the most. If it wasn't for the debt issue,
Mm.
I like the content available to them, but
Yeah.
whatever. So
That's
other than that, nothing else stands out. So
no.
you can see a lot of the financials did get cut, which I thought was going to happen.
Mm.
So that's that. A lot of financials got axed, but then they just added in more. So stocks that replace. So these are the replacement stocks. So
No.
I
Um.
like. So I like 2 of these. You go for it. What do you dislike
The
for your curveball?
the one that I dislike. Uh,
You have two. I don't care how many
the
you want.
the name that I'm aware of that I really am like, is Tapestry. The reason
Ooh,
why I say that is because I had Capri Holdings on my radar. Capri Holdings owns Versace, butchering the pronunciation, Jimmy Choo's, and like some other higher end fashion luxury brands. I air quotes because we all know LVMH is what dominates that space. And I,
this thing sold off. I remember
yeah,
last year. Yeah, I remember this.
yeah,
Wow, look at that. Look at that U recovery.
yeah. So it's one where maybe there is something there, but for me, it just
I
not
thought
for
about
me.
this. I don't remember why I didn't pull the it just I'm not a big
Yeah,
I'd rather get LVMH, but
same.
I don't know what the concern was.
It Capri Holdings was pretty ugly from
The debt seems not the worst.
yeah.
Cash flow.
I don't know if they finalized the acquisition yet, but
I mean, they're buying a lot of shares back.
yeah.
So if they didn't do that, they would be cash flow positive, I think. Yeah, if they didn't buy so many shares back.
Mm,
So what's their share situation look like? No, that's not it. There it is. Okay.
yep. Going in
I
preferable.
don't hate the business.
No. Same here. Same here. It
I've
just
looked at it before. So
yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So I'd be
So you
curious to
you
see.
don't like this ad.
I I'd be hesitant. That's just all. Like I'd have to take a look at the debt maturity perspective.
Okay.
Um, Next star for an entire year, maybe,
Oh, you
but
went there. You really went
maybe
there.
I don't know. I JC is probably gonna hate me if he ever
I'm gonna
shows
hate
up.
you for this. Go ahead. About to mute you. How dare you? I'm a broadcast baron with my boy JC.
It is a great play. It is a great play, but like for an entire year, I just don't know. I just don't know.
I think that's a great pick for this year. It's a
Okay.
shame it's only 0.5% holding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Like
again, like if I look at that, I'm like, did a person intervene and just put this in there? Did some person just tweak the algorithm just slightly to throw that in there? Because that's a perfectly timed pick.
yeah.
Because imagine if they picked Nextstar last year, I would have been like, what the F are they doing? There's no political campaigns.
Yep.
So just by luck of the draw, I think that's going to be a winner for them.
Yep.
So we'll see. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
I I am I hate to do stock. I think it's going to go for $200, hopefully, but
It
I
it
guess
should
we'll see.
work. Yeah. It's just like I'm curious when the next reconstitution hits, like, and where it goes from there. That's the only that like
That's the
that's
one I'm looking
yeah.
forward
That's
to
where
for my
I'm not.
stock. I own Nextstar,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
I own it pretty much cheaper than it is now. So
Yeah.
they
Just
obviously are in it at like 160s if they just bought it. Um,
yeah.
so that
Uh,
one's interesting. What else? Vail Resorts. So they
yeah.
got ski resorts.
Hmm.
Interesting with climate change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
maybe it works. It's fine.
maybe. Yeah.
So we've got what else? Yeah, but here's the thing. They kicked a bunch of financials out and then they throw them back in because these mid cap financial institutions check all a lot of those boxes of those 5 criteria for SCHD.
Yeah.
It's like so you almost wish they could like restrict if I could tweak like SCHD's rules, I would put a cap on the financials
Mm, that's fair.
because and we saw like with moat or
Yep.
no cows didn't let financials in
Yep.
because if you use Cal's methodology of free cash flow generation, like it would be all banks because
Yeah.
that's just a metric that banks just hit right
Hmm.
more
Oh
than
yeah.
any other industry. So I would put a cap. I wouldn't say no financials in SCHD. If that was the one tweak I could make to their methodology, I would like put a cap on the percentage of the whole portfolio, maybe
Yeah.
like 10% because I think it's 17%. Let me
Yeah.
see. Portfolio. It should be here. Yeah.
Yep.
Financials is 16. Yeah. It's crazy. I
Hmm.
would probably have capped this at like 10 or 12% of the total
Yeah.
portfolio.
I think that's reasonable. I think that's
Or
plenty
they could have
reasonable.
maybe capped all the sectors.
Yeah.
Maybe cap every sector at 15%. I don't know. I don't mind the industrial weighting, but that's me. But the financials, that's the one rule I would have.
Yep.
But
I do
yeah,
like Hershey's though. Like,
I do like. I like the Hershey's ad. I like the
yeah,
Next Star ad. If I had to
yep,
pick two, I like yeah. If Hershey's, which I would bet on Hershey's over Tyson as far as a commoditized, but
yeah,
I wouldn't say Hershey's is commoditized. I wouldn't because they do have pricing power
hmm
with their dominant position in the chocolate and industry. So they're like we were saying, if they can get their inputs down, like sugar, cocoa, those things got
hmm
hugely expensive for them the last few years because of inflation and shipping issues because of the of pandemic and all that. They've been through hell. So this could be a good year for that. So I like
yeah,
that one.
oh yeah,
So I like those two. Dick's has run up a lot. I like what Dick's is doing. It has run up a lot before they added it,
yeah,
which I don't know if it'll perform well for them at this point. I think they might have bought Dick's at the top. If they
oof,
bought it like a month or two ago,
yeah.
it's run up
I
so fast recently because of earnings.
I agree
I
with that
think
statement.
they we might look back and say they literally bought it at the top this year is what
Yeah,
I'm afraid of. We'll see. You could see what happened like the last 5 days. So or
hmm
month. Yeah, you can see right here.
yep,
It popped on earnings. So it's like, damn it. Just missed,
hmm
imagine if they had reallocated at the beginning of March, not the end of March. So, but who knows? I'm not sure when they bought it. Maybe they bought it before the changeover. I don't know. It's the third Friday of March.
yeah,
So one, two, three. They might have bought it before that pop, actually.
it's possible.
We don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know if they buy them before, but
yeah,
they should have technically rebalanced on Friday, the 15th. So that it's unfortunate because I like the pick. It just the timing of it might not
yeah,
work out for them. But I like the sporting good business as a defense against Amazon.
hmm
And I always have. And then they did piss off people that they got rid of guns and their
oh
hunting
yeah,
business.
yep.
I don't know about everywhere, but like the ones near me, they got rid of the hunting business. So they do fishing, but they don't do archery guns anymore. So I
Oh,
think
they
that
even
pissed
got rid
off
of
some
that.
people. But on the other hand, their apparel business is becoming very profitable.
Yep.
I think they're doing really well. I like the new CEO. I looked at this. It makes me cry. I looked at this stock when it was $70.
Oh yeah,
This one, and
yeah. Because we did that live talking about
there was
everyone's
something
shrinking.
else. There was just other things I bought.
Yeah.
It's not a thing like you hate everything you don't buy.
hmm
It's you can only buy so many things.
Yep.
But I was looking at it back here. But this is like I was accumulating KLA and Carrier, I think, back then in
Yeah.
Tran. I'm trying to think 2022. Yeah, I mean, is what it is.
Yep.
But it's still cheap, you could maybe argue. Although
Yeah. If they
I wouldn't
execute,
say cheap.
maybe.
I
But
wouldn't say cheap, right?
yeah.
But if we go into recession, this might get hurt. So
hmm
good pick, just timing might suck.
Yep.
We will see at the end of the year. So other than that, yeah, look at the financials, you get just as many banks went in as they pulled out. So that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yep.
Uh, so yeah, all these financial mid cap banks that you've never heard of before. I don't know. I have nothing to say about them. So that's SCHD. Skyworks Solution. That's that one that's based on Apple.
Oh, is it?
They're like almost their entire business is iPhones. So
No. No risks there.
as long as Apple doesn't replace the part that they provide the iPhone, it should do fine.
Yep.
Um, pays a decent yield. I've looked at it before, but it's like there's not really much of a growth trajectory if they have to rely on Apple.
Yeah.
So I was like, why bother? It's
hmm
not going to bother. But you can see during COVID when everyone was home, needed their phone.
No. Oh no, you demonetized himself.
But this is Lafufu stock too.
Oh, was it?
Yes, I know
Yikes.
it was. So okay, the only other one I know,
Yeah, BMY.
BMY has like everyone always thinks, well, they're going to recover because it's the cheapest of the big pharma. That's the thing. So this basically you got like Merck, Eli Lilly,
Mhm.
have done great. And
Yep.
then you've got like the shitco drug companies, Bristol Myers and Pfizer have been like a dumpster fire.
Yep.
So, basically, I've looked at this before. I looked at this thing for a while when
Mhm.
I thought about adding another pharmaceutical to Merck, and I'm glad I didn't because they bought a bunch of stuff, and this is the same thing, Pfizer kind of same issue. They've just burned through cash and made crappy acquisitions. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the goodwill. You wanna if I could tell you why Bristol Myers is sketchy, like that's it right there. Look
Yeah.
at the goodwill burn of like the last 5 years. 86, 73, 63, 57, 48. Just
Yeah.
they're just they're just buying things that are not panning out constantly. So, it's not surprising why it's done it just has performed terribly. I mean, who's surprised? So, they issued a bunch of shares for an acquisition. They have been trimming it down,
Mhm.
but I'm sure
But
their debt, let me look at their debt. Their debt is probably terrible. Mm, they're
yeah.
doing okay, but
Yeah.
the terrible acquisitions. Um, I don't know. I don't like this one. I
Yeah.
don't like it. It's got a high yield though, and
So,
they've been able to grow the yield fast because the stock's not performing, so they wanted to appease shareholders. So when all these acquisitions have just shit the bed, you can see that they've kind of compensated recently. So, but I don't know. 54 to 57 to 60. So that's not a bad dividend
it's
increase.
sure
But
is. It's just I agree with you, like, that
but their
if
payout ratio is reasonable. They can afford it. Some of the other drug companies are getting to the point where their dividend is like eating up their cash flow, like
yeah.
AbbVie.
Oh, yeah,
Like this is like an error code. The system doesn't even know what to do with it. Uh,
yeah.
so theirs is getting trouble where it's getting questionable how much of this they can afford. So did AbbVie get canned?
I don't
I
think I saw it, on the, elimination for this year. Um,
think it was eliminated last year,
yeah, it might have been.
or they trimmed it. No, so it's not added or removed. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, this person goes to the quant rating. Like,
Oh,
give me a break. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I like the Hershey's and Nexstar. Bristol Myers, I'm like, I don't know. We'll see what their pipeline does, I guess.
Yeah, that's therein lies the
Do they
key.
have any weight loss drugs?
I
So
don't
here's their
think so.
pipeline. Let me search weight loss. Anything weight loss related? No, nowhere,
Nope.
no weight loss.
Maybe
Let's
big
see.
big,
Lung
pharma shell can
cancer,
help us out.
lung
Big
cancer,
ph
lung cancer, small
big
cell lung cancer. So they went all in on the look at that. Wow. Tumors. Okay. So their pipeline is cancer fighting drugs. A lot of
Yep.
it. For 1 year, you're borrowing this thing for 1 year. So I'm not a big, and this is the largest holding, I think, when they reconfigured, if
Oh,
I
really?
remember.
Yikes.
Oh, nope.
Oh, nope.
It's right there. So
Okay.
let me pull this out. Okay. So here we go.
Yep.
So now, okay, that's the additions and deletions. So interesting. So again, for people like the max they can put them in is 4%. That's
Mhm.
the cap when they do reconstitution. It's in the prospectus.
Yep.
So Texas Instrument, uh, I don't hate it. I guess I'm meh. Um, there is they have some they're constructing an American fab. I don't know if it'll be up and operational this year, so that could be some sort of tailwind for the company. It's kind of just been a meddling mess
Yeah.
recently, up and then down and up and down. But you get that yield. I I don't think this would ever be a failure of a company. So solid pick. But UPS, oh man, I don't know. I don't love the business. I don't love the
Same.
business. The union costs, and then Amazon's just like taking business from them now. Amazon
Yep.
runs their own wholesale business where they provide the full service. Like my supplement company now does all the Amazon. They used to do their own packaging, so Amazon delivers the whole thing to me. Um, Pepsi, fine,
Hey, yeah, fine. I agree. Just,
fine.
it's fine.
I don't see any of these top holdings like Cisco. We know what Jesse's thinks is that ANET's going to kill them. So maybe not fine.
Yeah,
Jesse
maybe
would be
not.
Jesse's not a fan of Cisco. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
Um,
I'm not a fan of Pfizer. I think
Same.
Pfizer's management sucks. I think Pfizer's poorly managed. They don't allocate capital. People can watch my old video that I showed what they had this huge war chest from COVID and they pissed it away in like a year for
Mhm.
appreciably nothing. They don't do anything for shareholders that I feel. So I don't like this one. Chevron seems fine.
Yep,
Bristol
fine. I
Myers,
agree.
I guess we'll see.
Yep, same.
I feel like this is a boom or bust one. Oh, here is AbbVie.
AbbVie, yep.
Oh. Lockheed Martin, solid.
Yeah, I
You can run
agree.
with it. Verizon,
Yikes.
I think they mistimed the buy. It kind of did that run from the bottom. Now
Yeah.
you're kind of topping it almost in the 40s. Is what it is. It's a dividend fund, not looking for stock appreciation. So I guess that's all I can say. And then I just for fun, because I can.
Mhm.
So we back test SCHD from 2010 to now.
Yep.
Let's do 100,000. It kind of flows better when it's more money.
Yeah.
Rebalance, reinvest dividends. So we're doing
Analog.
US market versus SCHD. So I mean, pretty damn close if you
Mhm.
really think about it. Not that different.
No, no.
So standard deviation, okay, not the worst. Sharp, I mean, Sharp rate, the risk profile is pretty damn similar. Just
Yep.
kind of interesting. I don't know though, does this take SCHD as it's currently constructed? I'm assuming and pushes it back. I'm pretty sure this software doesn't know every year of what SCHD had.
That is a good question.
I doubt it does because that's a lot of
Yeah,
data.
yeah.
So this is probably taking the current iteration and just back testing it. But
Yeah.
so with a ETF with 40% turnover, how
Mhm.
useful is this? Not really. It is what it is. So like, but I don't think this is a core holding anyways. I've said that before.
Yeah,
SCHD
yeah.
is not a core holding. It should not be a core holding in your portfolio. It's like a satellite to boost your dividend. I've seen a few people online dividend Reddit where their retirement portfolio is VU, all VU, and
Mhm.
then their taxable account is SCHD. And their idea is they max their tax advantage account for retirement, and
Yep.
then their excess goes to SCHD to build that pot that they're going to use to live on because it's qualified dividends,
Mhm.
pretty high. What is it, like 3.5% dividend? It grows at a really good rate historically. So they're trying to just like have supplemental income with it. So I'm like, that's pretty easy, basic, not
Yeah.
bad plan to me.
Yeah, there's far worse plans out
There's
there that
far
become
that's what I
retirement.
want people to understand. There's like everyone's like, I gotta be optimized. I gotta be optimized. I'm like, look, just try and get to the finish line. There's a
Yeah,
lot of ways you could really fail at this stuff. Like,
yeah.
let's not harp on people something that it's simple and that if someone wants to do that, maybe they have a high income, like
Mhm.
they're 300,000 a year. They're just trying to put money somewhere and not lose 50, 60% of it to the market. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, you can look here. What's the drawdown? I mean, yeah,
Max drawdown.
you're
Yeah,
getting less drawdown.
yeah,
SCHD 21%,
yeah.
BTI 24%.
Like, you
You're
have to be.
getting similar risk profile with less drawdown.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Like, you tell someone for the last 10 years, max drawdown is, just a tick over 21%. Like, you have
Yeah,
to
but
be pretty risk averse to
I mean,
say no.
you put a few 100,000 in a taxable account, you're going to get 15% taxes on this dividend that grows at, I think it grows at maybe 7 or 8% historically.
Mhm.
You're not, again, you're not trying to optimize anything. You're just
No, no, no.
money away.
Yeah.
Let me see growth. Uh, is this the right chart? Dang, it doesn't have. Okay. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I mean, on average, you're getting some years varies.
Mhm.
The last year, oof, it
Yeah.
went down quite a bit. So historically, you're getting high double or low double digit gains.
Yep.
So is what it is.
Mhm.
Look at Gil here. Jeez, holy comments. I'm using your own logic now, Big Pharma. Oh, he's fighting
Yeah,
the
he's
good
fighting
fight.
big pharma.
If I give a genuine good tip on they accumulate wealth and hack the matrix. Okay.
The Matrix.
Come attack me. I don't know this matrix stuff.
I think it's an
Andrew?
Andrew Tate reference.
Yeah, I know Andrew Tate. I just don't get I don't
Yeah.
really get the whole matrix thing. Don't need
Uh,
to.
First movie was all right. Second two, it was the first trilogy where,
I saw the first one in theaters, so
very nice.
yeah. And then the second and third were such a what a crap show.
Yeah.
They
It,
took what was great about the Matrix, and then it's like the second movie will have like some Matrix and then out of it. And then the third movie, there's like no time in the Matrix. I'm like, did someone forget what this movie was? Like, let's take these guys out of the cool Matrix. No, no, no. Let's make them run around in dungeons. That's what we want. On God. No wonder those one of them turned into a girl, I think. One of
yeah.
those directors
Yep.
transitioned. I don't remember,
Hmm.
but yeah, ruined
It,
it. And
yeah.
then I saw the reboot. That was terrible.
Oh yeah, I didn't even bother. Not gonna
He
lie.
doesn't shoot a gun. Did you know
Bruh.
that? Neo in
Bruh.
in the in the reboot to the Matrix, I don't think he even picks a gun up. I'm pretty sure the whole time.
Oof.
I'm
Uh,
like, how did you make a Neo Matrix movie? He never shoots a gun? What? Like that was painful. That it was so bad. If you can watch it for free on HBO Max or something, I don't know. But what a crap show.
yeah.
But let me tell you, Shogun for anyone, Shogun is awesome. Um, really enjoying it. So I highly recommend if you have Hulu. So it's sad that they're not going to do another season because there's no other books. So it's a
Hmm.
one-off, but it's so good. I'm really enjoying it.
Yep. Gil.
Strongman has a useless IRA, and the advantage of the IRA is avoid paying taxes on your capital gains. Nice drawing with a lot of clowns, have safe profile, low
Yeah.
performing ETFs.
He's not a fan of the
Wow.
IRA.
He's
Yeah.
not a fan of the IRA.
Nope.
The only thing that sucks about the IRA is like, not really suck. It's just kind of a pain. Take money in and out of it compared to a brokerage, but that's not really
Yeah.
the point of it.
No, no, it's not.
Well,
It's a tool for, retirement and, after you're retired naturally.
I really don't care. I'm like, what gets you to the finish line is what
Yeah,
I
same
don't.
here.
Who
Same
cares?
here.
I mean,
Yeah.
what can you put money into for a long period of time? I'd
Mhm.
rather put money in my retirement account so I get tax benefits now. Um, so it is what it is.
Yep.
I think that's it
So
for SCHD. Hopefully Lincoln watches this.
yeah, I mean, it is from like a pure learning about the world perspective, like the companies that they took out and put in, really interesting, certainly interesting. And
Mhm.
I can easily be wrong and eat my words on what got in and what got out.
Maybe I'll revisit. I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll see how it works. Only a few of them I thought.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Bristol Myers edition I don't like, but Next Star should perform well, hopefully.
Hmm. No,
Um,
again, I agree. Like this year for sure, like this 2024 year, it should. But reconstitution that's my only question.
Pulling out Broadcom, man, that no
Yeah.
human would have pulled Broadcom out, and that's
Yep.
why these things are methodologies, though. But no
Hmm.
human would possibly have looked at what Broadcom has done. Amazing
It,
company on the edge of AI,
yeah.
right there, and they pull it out completely. So
It's okay, Lincoln.
wow,
You
and that's
came
a
in late,
five.
but
That was 5.5% before they reconstituted.
yeah.
So that's a huge. Well, I
Yep.
mean, that's what this thing does.
Really
forty
big swing.
percent turnover.
Yep.
So, like, I think a lot of people have been mentioning in dividend YouTubes. Like, I see a lot of people pushing like DGRO,
Mm.
which I really definitely like. That is such a better. If you're like 20 years old, it's so much better. Oh wait, he's here.
Yeah, yeah, he's here. He came in late though, but like,
Lincoln. Oh, you can watch.
yeah,
We covered it all.
yeah, yeah. There's plenty like, and I
I
think
don't
we did
like
a good
BlackRock,
push
but
away.
this is if you were like 20, this is a really well done dividend growth ETF. I really like it. There's even a more expensive version if you really want monthly dividends. There you go. This is a very similar constructed. It's just it does monthly payments, but the yield is, one point. The yield is small because its
Mhm.
priority is growth, not there's no high yield metric. But those are two well constructed ones. So low cost. SCHD to me is still it's like a satellite holding. I don't know why you would. It's too small. It's only 100, and the turnover ratio is insane. To have that be like your
Yeah.
primary holding,
Yeah.
I've never that. I mean, that is a crazy turnover ratio SCHD has. Honestly, the fact that it's like 40%. So that's pretty nuts. I mean, a lot of these, 20% I thought would be high. Um, that seems excessive. And then SCHD is like hold my beer, but I don't know. But SCHD is doing its thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If people get and people are like, oh, it's falling behind VU. It's like, okay, well, it was never intended to compete with VU.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the prospectus or how they make selection criteria to make you think it would stay up. It may just by circumstance. There might be some years where their March reconstitution works out amazingly based on economic activities in the market. That
Yeah.
could be like a low point in the year in the market, right? So
Yeah.
maybe those types of stocks they put in SCHD are low in um, that when they do this, and then you could have really good years. But by in general, we saw long term it's pretty close
Mhm.
performance. Um,
Yeah. It's like saying this wrench is a horrible hammer. Well, like no duh. A wrench is going to be a pretty bad hammer. You don't use this tool for that specific target in mind.
one last thing. So we're speaking of
Oh,
interesting to me. I just was looking at this.
yeah.
So Jeppy came out originally and it was like double digit. It was like
Yep.
10 or 12% yield. Um, and they were saying the managers would do interviews. They're like, it's not going to stay this high
Yep.
because the way it's constructed, they're pursuing low beta S&P
Mhm.
500 holdings. There are uh, risk risk adjusted return aspects to what they're doing, like let's call it, right? So they make those considerations about like the stocks that they pick for this and the contracts, whereas JetQ doesn't do that. JetQ is like, this is like, man, the guy at the bar doing shots and taking lines of coke. There is no safeties with JetQ. It's just full on. So it's kind of interesting to see though. So Jeppy's yield has started to pull down,
Yep.
which I kind of expected that it would normalize after it came out, something in the 6 to 8% range. And that's what they've said. It's not what I'm saying. It's what I think the managers have said. That's about what it would stabilize to. So, and you can see JepQ, it's going to probably stay higher because they don't have they don't have risk concerns when they do these selections of stocks. So it's going to be more volatile, which I don't know if you want that, but so basically, because I think people say like, what is a dividend yield that you could sustainably get in the market that doesn't deteriorate and the stock doesn't deteriorate, right?
Mhm.
I think that's the question everyone wants to know. So
Yep.
far, the answer is this, right? So far, it's been able to hold and grow slightly. Um, so you're getting 7-ish, 8% yield, and the stock is not falling apart. So which
Yep.
isn't 60. I know you're sad.
No.
This is not 60% yield that can maintain it tier. So so this is about as good as you're gonna get for sustainable. And they've talked about that's the goal of this fund too. But people like I should do a video on this maybe, but some of the ELN activity is hard to talk about. They don't really disclose a lot of what they're doing specifically. They kind of hide it.
Mhm.
Um, but this is an income generating asset for retirees. So it's just so weird, like to do a whole video on it because I could just tell people in 10 seconds, are you retired? No? Well, then you shouldn't own this. I don't know what's so hard about this. There's no reason to own this if you're not retired or you're needing income on like a fixed basis. Like I don't understand why you would buy this, like, until you get to that point. Like, this could be on the table for me when I retire. I don't know,
Mm.
maybe put 100 grand in it. But I like, if you're 22, 25, like, who cares about how it's composed? Why are you buying this? It's not for you. Just go buy Voo at that age. Like, why are you trying to
Yeah.
retire at 30 anyways? Swear to God. I don't shill I don't have VT, so
Yeah. Oh, it's
I don't like the international holdings of every country in the world.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
never
like
have. I don't there's countries in the world I don't want to hold assets in, or invest in. So
you the term Magnificent Seven, obviously. Um, Apparently there's an EU version that's called granolas, and basically it's like a more spread out, diversified version of it. It's kind of funny, makes me chuckle a little. But yeah,
okay. Let's
ooh,
see. Lincoln asks. I was just going to show something. So if you look
mhm,
at what's the overlap, SPY to SCHD, 50%. Okay.
alrighty,
Let's see the DGRO. Hmm, pretty similar.
yep,
Um, like, it's tough to say. Like, I don't know exactly what you're doing, but
yeah. It
tough choice.
depends on the
They're not the same the
no,
way they're constructed. SCHD has high dividend in the prospectus, whereas DGRO is talking about growth of dividends
yep,
as one of their criteria. So they're not really related. And then DGRO is much more diversified of an asset. I
mhm,
like DGRO for people younger than me. I guess I could say that. In general, if you're younger than me, DGRO makes more sense than SCHD. So, but maybe, I mean, if you just want to get to a point where you want to start drawing income, just put money somewhere. SCHD will get you there faster, most likely. So it's about goals.
I think
Anyways,
so.
took a retirement from value investing like nerds. Oh my God.
I still have my value bias.
Nerd.
I can't help it.
I'll have to ask Strongman to figure out. Oh, you're going to debate him? You got to
Yeah.
pay him $100.
Yep.
I don't know what other dividend ETFs I would cover. I'm not going to cover like the high dividend ones because I would probably say like the same thing for all of them.
Hmm.
Like it's the same. Why? Why would you own this till you're retired? Like
Yeah.
DHS. I think that's the one. This is Wisdom Tree's high dividend ETF.
Yep.
You know, pays 4.2. Cool, but then I look at this and I'm like, why don't you buy preferred shares? I almost want to say instead of something like this,
Yeah.
um, because you're like, again, it can defend its price barely, right? 1 year, 4%. So it's creeping up over time, you know,
Hmm.
so it can sustain that yield, but it's kind of a fight. But I don't know. Does it show this preferred?
Uh.
Do you remember this?
Oh.
I was so tempted to buy this at one point when it was like under 20. I think it was no, it was like around here.
Oh.
So here's this. This is a preferred share of an industrial REIT.
Hmm.
So these are guaranteed payments. It's so you're getting better than a high dividend ETF. You're not paying fees. There's no fees, right? So that DHS, you're paying like zero point 0.4 fees. This, you're paying no fees, getting a higher yield, which is guaranteed as long as the company doesn't go kaput. If they ever buy you out, they'll buy you out at $25 a share. So I don't know. To some degree, I don't get the super high yield dividend ETFs. I think they're to some degree they're pointless.
Yeah.
Because at least the growth ones have that growth. Okay, here's the dividend, but it's growing at say 8% per year. Okay, you can run the math. That's pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah.
Um, but like DHS, I think the higher ones probably don't get that growth. So, but here you get no growth. You just start with a higher yield. Because that this is in the note, so you're not getting any increase here. Anyways,
Mhm.
Lincoln, you can watch the rest of it from the start. So I don't know if you hold it or not. SCHD, the king of the castle, I guess. So I've kind of I still have some, but I transitioned my Roth to a factor investing model. So I don't really have too much SCHD anymore. So the growth one I really like, but so I think that's it.
Mhm.
Obviously, there will be no content for as long. Well, geez, basketball's going to run all the way through the weekend, I think, right?
Think so, yeah.
Tomorrow all the way to Sunday. Yeah, so I'm not doing
Yeah.
any. I love March Madness. So I'm working from home Thursday, Friday, and then I'll probably go watch some of it maybe at the
Uh,
bar, have
you
some lunch at the bar on Saturday.
you put
So
out 2 live streams in 1 week, and you also
I
laid
have
out a
I have to wrap up research on those two. They're going to be videos, the two topics I was thinking of doing.
alrighty.
I
Oh,
have the
that sounds
research. I
wonderful.
just have to put it together more.
Yeah.
But yeah, spoiler alert. People's idea of what diversified portfolio don't really make any difference. So like, I'll do a whole video on it, but basically what you think is diversified is probably just 10 holdings, honestly. And then you don't get any additional benefit until you get to like 150 holdings is what I'm seeing. But I'll do a
Ah,
whole there's more to it, I guess, but
yeah.
nobody's holding 150 holdings. You're effing insane if you do that. How do you have your sanity if you hold that many stocks?
You automate it just like Excel spreadsheet and just like random number generator go.
At that point, it's like, why don't you just use a why
ETF.
don't you just buy an ETF that has
Yeah.
100 stocks in it? Why are you doing this to yourself? But oh, wait, Lincoln, I am actually transitioned SCHD to SCHG. I honestly, and I'm a dividend guy, but the more I looked at SCHG and VUG, I did look at VUG too.
Mhm.
Man, like you pair one of those growth indexes that are very diversified, low cost. They do all the searching for growth for you.
Yeah.
Man, you hold that for 40 years, like consistently invest in it. I'm like, with AI coming, I'm like, you're gonna be a millionaire. Um, you pair that with like a really quality international investment of your choice. Like I said, I don't believe in buying all of the world, but
Yeah. Like I I'm not a quant, but like based off of the quants that I've listened to, it seems like dividend yield, which you've already known this entire time and have said, dividend yield, be careful, but dividend growth, there probably is, being conservative, something there as far as like merit and long term hold.
I don't think there's any sizable difference between SCHG, VUG, and QQQ to me. Performance wise, QQQ's done better because it's more skewed to large cap, which have
Hmm.
done better. But I like SCHG gives you some mid cap, like Palantir. I
Yeah.
got Palantir, right?
Yep.
So I got some mid cap growth in mine. Um, does that make a big sizable difference? No, probably not.
Hmm.
Probably small because okay, SCHG might have a mid cap run, but right, it's probably 0.00005% of the allocation. So if it's market cap weighted, it's still same bag as QQQ. So this if someone's but the worst thing you could do is try and flip flop between them to pick which
Yeah.
one is optimized. That's the
Yeah.
true way to screw it up. Instead of
Yep.
just picking one they're all about the same. Um, Although I think I do better on fees than QQQ.
Uh, point two
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
SCHG is like 0.08 or 7. I know that they have the other this is the portfolio mod version, right?
Hmm.
Oh, it's not even that much cheaper in expense ratio.
Yeah. That one surprised me.
Interesting. I thought it was way less because I know people say buy this one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But you can't go wrong.
Hmm.
Pull all the value out. But anyways, let's see what he said. I still have SCHD trimmed, like 10% of it. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's not a bad fund. It's not
Yeah.
like it does what it does.
Mhm.
And Strongman was right. There were a lot of people bought SCHG after it ran during COVID because Jesse brought up a great point. When it rebalanced in March of 2020, it rebalanced at the lowest point.
Yep.
So a lot of that 5-year return is actually outsized to that one specific period of time. It just so happened to rebalance at the perfect time. Um,
You're
so, and when he said, I'm like, you know what? I never, I just hadn't been thinking about it, but I'm like, it was right there,
Yep, you are tempting me because
right
the
here. This was the,
rebalance
this
timing
was
luck.
the biggest right here, that rip,
Yep,
because it rebalanced right
right.
here.
Yep.
Well, I could tell you when it rebalanced if I went, let's go back 2020, March, third Friday, 1, 2, 3. Okay. March 20th of 2020. Look at that.
Yep.
It literally
The
just
immaculate
about
rebalance.
ticked the bottom when it rebalanced and then it ripped,
Yeah.
right? And then you can see since then it's kind of just in its middling thing because stock appreciation is not a criteria it looks at. So it's just been paying dividend yield. Um, so and during this time though, you were getting 10, 11, 12% dividend gains per year.
Mhm.
So it was doing its thing. That's what this thing is for, designed actually. So you're getting double digit dividend growth, not appreciation of the stock. So, it's doing its thing. Now this could happen again, right? If you hold it long enough,
Yeah.
it's gonna every once in a while it's gonna reconfigure in March and it's the perfect time to do it, or maybe it's the worst time. But this will get you to the finish line.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways,
I'm just
uh
laughing because that rebalance timing luck is just one of the things I'm fascinated in this space with.
Lincoln, look at Lincoln.
Yep.
SCHG is his main holding.
Yep.
You can't go wrong with it. It's a great. They take the 750 biggest companies in America, and they look at the growth criteria, and then they have pretty good growth criteria, and it's either a growth or a value stock, and then
Mhm.
you're getting the growth side. You could also technically buy the value side um, of the split. Although I really don't know why you would do that. So, because like to me, then if you were going to buy the values, I'd be like, okay, instead of that, why don't you just buy the Schwab fund that's the biggest 750 companies in America? So I don't know why you'd buy the value side ever.
Yeah.
They have the 750 biggest because they buy that from Dow Jones because State Street owns the five, or global, or I'm sorry, SPLG owns SPY. So yeah, isn't it SCHX? Yeah, this is it. So it's the biggest 750 companies in America. So it gives you that little top end of the mid cap range.
Mhm.
So it's a huge fund though, $40 billion. So very well done. Great fees. This is the other idea, but this is where the growth aspects of SCHD come out of this fund. They split it. So, anyways, all right. What is it? Dan, trade your Honda for a Nissan Altima. Why? I love my Hondas. You can't go wrong with Honda, though. I do want to do Toyotas next, maybe. The down payment was crazy. Like we were looking at switching to Toyotas the
Mhm.
last 2 years ago when our leases were up. It was like double the down payment, and it was like difference of 400 to 550 or something monthly payment for Toyotas. And I'm like, I don't think there's appreciably much difference between the two brands. So I like Hondas. Like I like the buttons, everything makes sense in a Honda, right?
Yeah.
Every button in it makes sense why they put it in that spot. It's not like a GM vehicle where you're like, why the hell is this dumb button down here? The truth is probably no one knows. And then so I don't know. I might get a Porsche. I really want a Porsche next so I can convince the wife.
Yep.
I found a
Oh.
subreddit filled
Oh
with people
no.
whose port is 100% Paramount.
Why?
What they make it official? Oh my god.
But why?
What? Okay, like what?
That
They got to be Trekkies. It's the only thing I can think of. They have to be Trekkies, maybe, because
that
they own Star Trek. All right, let me look. Oh my god! Look at it. Like gross
yeah.
margin deteriorating, operating margin deteriorating. deteriorating. Cash flow. Look at everything is just going the wrong direction.
What?
Everything. Look at this. Shares. Are they issuing shares? They're issuing shares because their cash flow, their freaking margins are destroyed. You know, slight uptick, but kind of flat revenue, which you'd
Just
expect from a broadcaster. Why?
uh,
Why?
I
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, at least the debt. They're
Yeah, it's
okay. That's
right
promising.
direction, but like still, it just
Yeah. Oh my god. I don't get it. I don't.
neither do I.
I look
I
at these like it's like a shit co. Like, why would you buy this? I don't. What do you think is going to happen to make this company look good? I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's not really a turnaround play, but like, oh, some people thought broadcasters would become streamers, and then they realized, oh, there's a lot of capex involved in streaming. So
Yep.
maybe they could have just dug into being a broadcaster and sold the rights to their library. But the truth is, there's no good answer that anyone could tell you what these companies should do. Like Warner Brothers Discovery tried to merge their way out of problems when they merged the two companies. And
No, yeah. Yep.
I don't know what they do besides get rid of some of the debt with the Carvana guy. The guy that restructured Carvana's debt. Outside of them doing that, I don't. I saw somebody say they should sell CNN, but then it's like maybe they could get $9 or $12 billion for CNN. It's like, okay, well
Yeah.
then they lose that revenue, which is probably not much. And do you really think someone's buying CNN for that much money?
No,
Like, I don't
no,
see
almost
it.
certainly not. No,
I don't. Who the hell is dumb enough to buy CNN for 10, $12 billion? And that doesn't
no.
even pay off a fourth of their debt at this point. So which sucks. I don't want them to do badly because I love HBO. I pay for it.
Yeah.
So I like, the House of Dragon was really, they don't have as many good shows as they used to. Sigh. So
Yeah.
okay. Can you? I don't know if you have to keep it hidden. What is the subreddit? Can you share it? Because I want to go look at this. Why would you own? You know what though? Okay.
That percentage too of port.
Would you rather own 100% Paramount or SoFi?
Uh,
Make your decision. You're gonna live with
Para.
it.
Para. I would rather go Para. I I don't
Honestly.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh my god. I'm trying to. I don't know.
That
SoFi has, maybe you have the degen lunatics online that could pump the stock. But if you're telling me I have to hold it like the rest of my life, I'll
yeah.
do Paramount
Yeah.
because who knows what SoFi is going to be. But if I can trade, then I'll do SoFi.
That
For the
God.
love of God.
I
Oh, wait,
feel
Fabio beat us to it before. Imagine not liking SoFi.
damn Fabio.
Oh my God. I love it because these SoFi channels who have no idea what they're doing, they fall into like Anthony Noto knows what people are watching, what metrics retail investors care about.
Yep.
So with stock goat, like he knows what people want to see in the company, like the increasing, customer numbers, right?
Yeah.
He thinks all the people care about is more customers, more customers. It's like, well, what's the quality of these customers, right? Are these active accounts or not? Did people come in to get the bonus money from SoFi and then they bail and they don't actually use the platform? But technically there's $25 in it and it's an active account. Like, but they're increasing, right? So but these people are hilarious. This guy, I've watched this. This guy doesn't know a goddamn thing about investing at all. He's dumped all his money in this, and look at 16,000 subscribers. Look at what does he care what SoFi does? The stock. He's getting. Look at the views he gets. Dude's making bank just talking out his ass about SoFi. 12.5, 10. He's getting like 10,000 views per video. Like he found his gold mine. So these people crack me up.
SoFi goat. And he's got a Patreon too.
Of course, we can't forget Lafufu bought SoFi, like almost topped it before it started to dip again. because he bought it right after earnings. So so like it had earnings that did well for SoFi. It went up, and then of course
Yep.
Lufufu buys it like at the worst time, and now it's down. I think it was 9.5 ish. Now it's 6 at 680. So
So
like these
funny.
guys, it's hilarious. Like this guy, I love it because this bank analyst that they all were making
Oh
fun of,
yeah. Yep.
a lot of his concerns are actually work. He's actually right. Like,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, this guy was actually right, and he's a bank analyst. So shocker, he knows about banks. So these people, big day tomorrow. Oh, really? Such
No,
a big day. Is any day a big day for SoFi?
but but the analyst is screwing over retail, even though he shows up on a YouTube channel. Say,
Oh, I've seen this guy. Okay,
oh
this
no.
guy. This is crazy. He's got 80,000 subs. Look at this weirdo. Like, and all he talks about is like trash companies, right? He literally just looks at the algorithm, I'm pretty convinced, and just picks whatever's popular. Like
Wait, why?
Coinbase, SoFi, Nvidia, SoFi. He just
Why
picks these random crap codes. Oh, Rocket Labs. Yeah, there you go. It's like
the the
gets the
fuck?
views though.
Talking about options plays with Nvidia? That just okay. That
Got to keep the people flowing.
oh boy.
These people, I
Good
love it.
God.
Oh, oh, this guy, he's the worst. Felix and friends.
Oh.
Hello, it's my dog. We are going to talk about every popular clown stock. And I'm going to pretend to be some slick, savvy guy. He's got the cool background.
Yeah.
All he talks about is like trash companies, based or popular trash companies. Of
This
course, who would have thought he talks about PayPal,
oh,
Palantir, Neo,
yeah.
what else? SoFi. Like, how did he ever find these companies? Like, however did he figure these out? But
He's
imagine
mastered
all these great investing channels find the exact same stocks to talk about, Bacon. Isn't that amazing? What a coincidence.
masters the art of the shocked or disgusted financial YouTuber
Oh,
thumbnail. There's just
it's such a pile of crap. It's hilarious. Oh well. Wait, that's dad. My dad does not look like that. Hilarious. I am 100% Baba. Oh my
oof.
god.
I
Why?
100% in a single stock, like that that just feels wrong.
So you're 100% into the communist government. 100% invested in the Chinese Communist Party. They thank you. Because there is no Bob outside of the communist government. Their bank accounts are all the same. There is no separation.
It's just
I think he's joking, but
I think so too, but
hilarious.
yeah.
But I am out degenerating all of them, right? So what are we at? Okay.
Oh, yeah, this is
Investing in China is a clownish investment. So I figured, well, let's pick the clownish ETF that does it. So I bought this. Where was it? 16. I think it was here. Somewhere in here I bought it. I
okay.
got in at 16.
Okay.
So we're up to 1880.
So
All
far
right.
it's working out.
It did top 20. I probably should have sold it, but no, I'm gonna keep it. It's not a huge amount,
Yeah.
a few $1,000s, but I'm gonna wait till it gets to $30. So clownish investments require a clownish tool. That's what I tell you. This is speculating fun.
This is if investment vehicles are actual vehicles, this is a clown car.
Yes, this is the clown car in a clown tent driving around with freaking balloons and unicorns flying around. It's all just fake bullshit. Oh, China. So, I mean, I'm sure China will flip at some point. You know, they'll pretend that they're doing well, and pump money back, and Westerners will just say, "Oh, China's back." Yeah, sure. But I will profit from that whatever change.
Yep.
Oh, I think that's it. Oh my god, this went an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. This one 1 hour. Um.
That's anyways.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed Lincoln. I figured at least I could do for my my new mod. He asked
Hey.
for this. So watch out for more stuff coming, but not after not while basketball's on. So it's the best time of year. Sven Carlin Baba Bowl. No, he's not joking. I'm disappointed in you. I don't even know you.
I
It's not
just hope it
financial
goes okay.
advice.
Yeah.
Not financial advice. The fuck are you doing? Oh, I'm sure he's gonna tell me that it's gonna rue.
Yeah.
I'd feel better for you if you were in Ying, actually. Triple X leveraged China fund. At least I'm diversified in my degeneracy, but I recently added Las Vegas Sands, which is a
Okay.
Macau play because
Yeah.
they don't even actually have Las Vegas.
Okay.
They
All
do.
right.
Why are
All right.
you all China, dude? I don't
I
understand. I'm trying to actively diversify as I get older, and you're like going into it, grinding it into a freaking pulp. So I don't know.
yeah.
We're not supposed to get I think you should reassess your life conditions. Oh my god.
That's I hope it works out for you. It's
I do hope.
I'll be
I do. I
diplomatic.
don't.
Yeah.
You will do better. Okay, I think you'll do better than yield maxers. I guess we could say that. I
Yeah.
am 95% sure you'll do better than yield maxers. 99% sure. So, whoa, wait. Triple X. Okay, what is this?
I don't even
Send
know.
me a ticker. I can't stop. I must see. Oh,
Oh,
Tencent.
triple edged Tencent. Yeah.
That's the ticker for Tencent. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, ADR Tencent, but yes.
Oof, look at that.
Yeah. It's rough.
Interesting.
Oh,
I don't know enough about Tencent to say anything really.
yeah. It's
Because I'm contrarian, just starting my career. Well, if you're just starting your career, why you could still bet on China, but why not like do some sort of core satellite where your core holdings are a diversified, low cost, low
mhm.
turnover fund that you could put money in every week, and then you could still have your fun with your Chinese investments,
Yeah.
and you could enjoy the compounding of the market still. But
Yeah. I think the
then
expression
there's
was
this young person thing where they're like, I have time, so I have tons of time left, so go very degenerate from the start, and then I have time to recover if it doesn't. If it works out, I kill it. But we covered that with the leveraged research that they're saying, yeah,
mhm.
you have the total dollars of your career earnings. That was the leveraged fund ETF research where they're like, you can take more risk on it when you're young because your career as a percentage of your career potential earnings, it's pretty low, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're putting 80% into VU, it's like, well, you're only making 40 grand, at the start of your career. So you're not putting that much money away anyways. But yeah, what was it? SSO?
Want to say so? Um,
Yeah, this was the one.
yeah. Yeah. Was this 2x?
Like, if you're like 20, like it made me think reading the research because I'm like, if you're like 20 and you've got 40 years, like the research showed the longer you stretch the time horizon, these leveraged strategies work better. So if you
Mm,
do this on a 5 or 10 year basis, it's probably, you get your cheeks clapped potentially because the
yeah.
downs are real down, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
you're going to be terrified and bail because if the market goes 20% down, you're actually 40, 50% down. Um, but it was interesting research. It's another video, but
Yeah.
this is a 2x leveraged S&P 500.
Yeah.
So they didn't do the triple leverage. That seems crazy to me because
Yeah.
that
Well,
could
yeah.
probably potentially go real bad.
Mhm.
But Lord have mercy. I am extremely negative the US. I'm not ready to talk about my international investments specifically, so I don't want to say.
Yeah.
I I'm not bearish the US, but I am diversifying considering I was like I was basically like 0% international till a few
Mhm.
years ago. So now I'm like 25, 30-ish percent trying to get there. Um so yeah, I'm concerned. I don't know if concern is right, but I don't want to be overly concentrated. There's a whole world out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's viable opportunities out there. It's just you need to be careful. Anyone needs to be careful in how they do it as far as international. Like the
But look,
simple.
if you're looking at like the Schiller ratios and the Buffett
Mhm.
ratios and
Oh
all
yeah, yeah,
that hoopty doo that they tell you that the US is highly over valued, they stretch those valuations back to like the Civil War. It's like, do you really what do you think the average Schiller ratio of the 1880s has to do with today, right? Like to
oh
me
yeah,
it's like go look at like the biggest companies in the world 50 years ago. They were like oil companies, right?
yeah.
And maybe IBM, and General Motors and General Electric. Now you look at what's now. It's like the world has changed.
Oh
So
yeah,
when Paul from Everything Money talks about that Schiller ratio stuff, it just makes me laugh. I'm like, to assume that you know enough about the U.S. economy to say it's overvalued
yeah.
by your
Because
silly metric.
we're talking agrarian
And
America.
we're on the cusp of the AI revolution. Last I checked, all the AI companies are in the US.
Yeah,
Are there
it,
any AI plays outside of the US? I guess Taiwan semi,
yeah.
obviously, but I don't know. I everyone's got their own method, so
Mhm.
there could you could very well do fine certain ways.
Oof. Uh,
Gil, Jesus Christ,
don't want don't want to incur the wrath of the YouTube gods ever more, or
yeah.
even more.
Paul just needs to buy index funds with this time of money.
I agree.
How we forget, like,
Yeah.
he just keeps saying nonsense, and people, "Paul, you're so smart. You're so smart." He lost, like, $10 million shorting NVIDIA. I can't believe,
Yep.
like, and he
I love.
still is spouting his nonsense like nothing happened.
I love
But
that that was
this
a
is YouTube.
conservative estimate too.
No one will he doesn't even need to waste his time deleting content because it doesn't matter. People don't look back.
Mhm.
And the videos I did will become dust and no one will care, and his channel will keep growing and he'll keep convincing people to invest like him and fail. So,
Yep.
yeah, like this thing. He wants to spout about value investing. Really? You just lost millions of dollars shorting the best company in the world. And you
Yeah.
want to tell us that we're failing as value investors. And you have the balls to even quote their names. Like, it's disgusting that he even quotes Buffett and Munger. Pretty sure they didn't short Nvidia. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god, I'm just reading through that. He is so dumb.
Yeah.
He is so dumb.
He is so he is so desperate for people to think he's some sort of investing guru.
What
He wants
the?
it more than anything. Like, he would sacrifice people at the altar to become this investing guru. He would like do whatever it takes.
It
And
was.
it's just crazy. Like the fact that he can write stuff like this and not think he probably just is blocked out of his mind that he's lost millions and millions of dollars. Every portfolio I've reviewed has failed and lost to the S&P 500, but it doesn't matter.
He's
So,
so dumb. Like, I'm
yeah.
not a real estate guy by any means, but what he just said, no, no. Like, it was years ago where I remember, like, either it was CNBC or Bloomberg, where I want to say it was JPM or one of the bigger like investment bank arms of some bank. We're like, yeah, like we're trying to like make farm investing like more accessible to people. And Iowa was one of the things that they talked about. Like, come on, are you really saying you, oh great Paul Gabriel, are the only one looking at Midwestern states? Like, get out of here with that. Come on, are you serious? Oh my god.
It kills me. This is this silly short man trust fund baby trying to sound relevant and smart. So,
Like,
instead of doing something meaningful with his life, like become a doctor or something like his dad. No, 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 no. This is what you're going to do. Become a leech on society. Take $50 a month from people for your middle school software, that just has people underperform. So cool. But we're here, so maybe. Yeah, but yeah, you're all in a stock that Paul Gabriel really likes. And not only that, SH, he bought it in like the 200s.
mhm.
Then sold it when it was like a complete abject failure, and he tax loss harvested because he's such a smart investor. And you can, if you draw a line from when he first said he bought it to when he tax loss harvested it, he lost like 65%. Then he had the balls when he did his performance review like a month or two ago
Yep.
to say he was only down 7% because he rebought it. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, you can't rate this stuff. Like, so he got whacked on Baba, and then he bought it again. So
Yeah.
you're on the side of Paul Gabriel, Mr. Baba.
Just
You're all
I
clear jealous. You're not the LeBron James. Could I be like the I'm trying to think what the Ray Allen? I don't know.
yeah.
Just that the Horace Grant of investing. Can I be that? The guy that was on just all the championship teams, has like 11 or 12 rings. I'll be the Horace Grant of investing. I'm just there. I'm just in the background every time there's a winner. You want me on that team? I was born poor. I had to learn investment. Now I teach on it. Lincoln really wants me to like go after the yield maxers more. Yeah. I'm trying to block some of it out of my memory because I'm just waiting for like, we had the Tesla reverse split.
Yep.
So I'm like, what's the next crazy thing that's going to happen to Tesla? I don't know. Maybe it reverse splits again or gets delisted. I don't know. Or the margin rate goes up. That'll be fun.
Yeah, because there was the fund called CYA for the ticker symbol.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one I think
perfect,
got delisted.
perfect ticker. See ya. Because it's
I think it might be gone. I think it might be completely gone.
Yeah, delisted, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think maybe I can pull it up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Yep.
No chart available because it's gone. This was some sort of derivative strategy, right?
Yeah.
Contracts. Yeah. See ya. It's funny though, before it went bust, I think the yield it was showing on the chart was like 1,000%, which was hilarious because that's what's going to happen in these the yield is going to keep perking up, and they think that they're doing well because the yield will be improving as it keeps deteriorating, and it'll start snowballing worse and worse. Oof, look at this thing. $25.
Yep. And then
this is these derivatives. Let's be new investors, and let's pick one of the most complicated investing products that we can find online because we're new investors. And then we'll say that we understand the risks and we understand how they operate. But if you understood, you would have never bought it.
Yeah.
So just the fact that you bought those things tells me you don't know what you're doing, which I got in a fight with some other YouTubers and they're all gone. But anyways, see ya.
Yep. It's funny because like the acronym CYA should be cover your ads.
Yeah.
But
not a great ticker. I don't think anyone's going to pick this ticker up after their
and now it's just as you said, see ya.
Yeah, I mean, they're all going to get wrecked. It's like fighting. It's like if you know 2 + 2 is 4, but then your toddler wants to fight you and say it's 6.5. There's no argument. Like they're just wrong.
Yeah.
It's the same thing fighting the yield maxers. Like you're just, I could sit here for hours and debate, but you're just wrong. Math is, undefeated. So it's just the math of it will crush you. Oh wait, okay. We got some time here.
Yeah. Oh, this guy.
So this is funny. Okay, let me see. I think it was today.
I haven't brought myself to watch this print, but yeah.
I think it was this one. Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, let me pull this. We can watch this before we go. Oh, remove. Okay, hold on a second.
Yep.
Okay. So someone sent him this because he can't do this math. Mm-hmm. I could do it, but I really don't care. It takes time. Yeah. So someone's actually pulling their performance because I've said this before. Doesn't matter how many layers of yield max, right? You could have 4, 6, 25 derivative contracts every month. You win or you lose. That's it. And they're more incentivized to create more complicated. The more complicated, the better, because they don't want you to understand what they're doing. So somebody actually did the math for this ULTY. I think so. He talks about this is the chart of their performance in a month, right? Doing these derivatives. Hold on.
That was those. It says March 18th, but these were actually as of Friday. So I had a couple of very astute commenters point that out to me. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And then I actually went ahead and took the liberty of going onto the site today and pulling up the spreadsheet. So this is.
Oh, wait, I missed that part. Let's go to the beginning.
Yep.
The profit and losses in this case would be, I guess, unrealized, but it's still pretty profound. You can see the total number here. You can see the red is the losses, the black is the profits, and you can see the total number here. And these are stocks such as Affirm, ARM, Chewy, CLSK, Coinbase.
Look at this pile of shit of options.
LabVIEW, Mara, MDGL, NMD, MSTR, Riley.
They're just writing options on random high beta stocks.
NDX and SoundHound. So that was those. It says March 18th, but these were actually.
I can't hear him talk anymore. So, like, someone actually ran out the options, and you could see the red means that they failed, they lost. The black would mean they won. So you could see it's a lot of red. So this was abject failure of a month of these calls. So I think they, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 of their option strategies failed, and then 6 succeeded. So they lost. They lost money. This is what I've tried to say to these people. It's like you're just paying someone in a room to do options trading with these stupid funds, and they're going to win some months, lose some months. So the months that they lose, they still pay you a payout, a distribution. Where's that come from? It comes from the pot of money they use to write the contracts. So, and then next month, they have less money in the pot to write the next batch of contracts, which means there's less available money for you as distributions. It's just a matter of how long it takes to, if they're making bets on lower beta stocks, it'll just drag out for longer. You'll get less premium, but there's less risk of these failing, let's say.
Why are people playing with ticker symbol RILY?
Like, look at some of these. Look what they're Affirm. Okay. ARM, Chewy's. Like, some of these are trash companies. Like
Riley is the one that stands out.
Is that CleanSpark? CLSK?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You're writing options on a crypto miner.
Like,
does that sound smart?
No. And Riley is the one.
Coinbase, Carvana. Carvana moves like that's one of the highest beta stocks. Carvana. Things freaking always going up and down. They do it because it generates more premium. Mara, what is that? Marathon?
Yeah.
MicroStrategy.
These were actually
you're going to write contracts on Michael Saylor.
Yes.
Are you crazy? Michael Saylor just borrowed a pile of cash to buy more crypto. Dude's crazy. I would never invest in Michael Saylor. That dude is a nut job. But they're writing derivatives on. Who cares, right? Income. So, and then of course they got to write SM, super micro.
Yep.
Because they got to have that, because that's the hot stock right now. Jesus Christ. What a pile of crap. These people, I would love to debate this guy more than the other one that we always talk about.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, I would love to debate him. Although I think I would just end up starting. It wouldn't last long. I know it wouldn't. Well, I've commented a few times and he never responds to me. So he hasn't blocked me yet. So
Riley alone also does just like, that's one that like
look, they lost 1.4 according to this chart, $1.4 million lost in this failed options play. So Jesus Christ. But makes you sad. So there's always worse.
Yep.
I've watched multiple streams on these things, still don't understand what the point of them are or why any buys them. People buy them because they're poor and they're desperate. And that's pretty much it. They can scrape together like 70, 80 grand. They failed at investing their whole life, or they never put any money away, which is a lot of people. They get to the point where they need income because they have to, right? Maybe they can't work anymore and they have nothing put away, and they start getting Social Security and they realize it's not enough. And it's like, this is the only thing that they're like, oh, if I put 100, if I have 70 grand, then I margined 30 grand, Yield Max will pay me like 4,000 a month or some crazy number. And like, I can live on that. It's like, they don't know what they're doing.
No.
That's like the fact that you bought these Yield Max funds, you don't know what you're doing, because I don't have to prove anything. The fact you bought these, like, there's nothing to prove.
Yeah.
There is a market for these. And you notice like the people running these funds are getting aggressive. They're doing interviews on these channels constantly.
Yeah.
The managers of these ETFs, they're running the circuit now in these groups. They're doing all this promotional activity. I've seen Feppy t-shirts now, and
good God,
they know who their market is. They know who their clientele is for these products.
Yep.
More than you think. And it's kind of disgusting. Like, who do you get mad at? The people, I mean, they are who they are. You know, does the stock exchange have any liability? Do you hold the stock exchanges liable for letting these things get listed? I don't know. Like, they're trash products that will hurt people, but there's lots of investments you can make that might hurt you. So who is the government or the New York Stock Exchange to stop you, I suppose?
Yeah.
It's a shame. I don't know what the answer is, but these option plays have opened up this huge deluge of ETFs doing all these silly option strategies, and it's just inundating people. I don't know what's going to change. Maybe the SEC will get involved, but I don't know if they can do much.
No, not right now.
Maybe it's just talking about it, and that's why we have to keep harping on it, because maybe you get in the algorithm, and maybe they see your video before they go to these people's, and maybe, or they go there, they get creamed by like Tesla, and then they start searching for a counterpoint to what they thought was a good investment, and then they find Fabio, maybe. And maybe you save them from total destruction, just partial destruction.
Yeah.
Michael Saylor. I mean, he's been right so far, but he's a degenerate clown. I couldn't imagine giving him any money. That dude wouldn't trust him with anything.
Not with mine.
Gil, I'm describing the average American. Like, these products appeal to the average American, basically. And maybe you have enough money for when you break your, I have somebody's dad, he fell down the stairs at work and destroyed his leg. Breaking his leg is too nice. He destroyed his leg, and he showed me it's gross. But he got a huge insurance payout, and he had his own money, so he's okay. How many people are like that, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're one tragedy away from destruction. Personally. So a car accident, right, breaks your hip and you can't work, and you're a laborer, and that's the end of your work career. Now you have to live on Social Security, and you have 20 grand to your name. So you see Yield Max offers you 60% on that 20 grand. And then you're like, well, I could also borrow 20 grand to make the payments double. So I mean, these things are going to get worse. More companies will jump into this. It's gonna. There's no stopping this. Maybe enough people learn not to buy these things. Fabio is doing God's work. I mean, we talk about it behind the scenes, and and if people think, oh, we're just, he's talking about it, I'm talking about it, I mean, somebody else, we have to fill the algorithm with a counterpoint to these freaking clown channels like that THB guy. Maybe you can stop. Maybe there's a lurker out there that never comments, and maybe they find, okay, maybe he's on to something. Why are all these Tesla people down 20-30% and they don't care? But then this guy Dan Weston's telling me these are terrible investments. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking of. Problem is, like, a lot of the bigger channels just don't care, because they always make money being positive about everything investing. Because positivity sells in investing, not negativity. No one wants to hear you say SoFi's a pile of dog shit. So they want to hear you talk about everything glowing about SoFi. That's how you get 10,000 views. So, like the stock goat, he's living his life.
Yes.
More ruthless. I can't be strongman ruthless.
No, that's
I
not
don't
who
really.
I am.
It's not. I don't know. So I'm not quitting my job. That's for sure. They're all. Oh yeah, Kramer's got a lot of these people. The average retail investor, just go watch Mad Money when you're eating dinner and just the call segment, and then mute Kramer the rest of the time. But just listen to the call segment, and you're like, "That's America." Some of these people. So Kevin only talks about everything. He's about to crash.
I mean, he is shorting Tesla, last I heard, or has a short-ish position.
Kevin is so bad. He's so bad, and people can't see through the salesmanship. This is crazy. I don't know. They can't get past. He has a very polished, intentionally polished look. So I don't know. He doesn't care. He doesn't have to make any money investing. He can just do what he's doing. I think people like people give Joseph Carlson a tough time because they're like, well, your returns are just your Qualtrim Patreon money. It's not actually investing. It's like, I don't think he really's denied that he puts Qualtrim money in there, but those are his real investments.
Yeah.
He has made money. We can debate if he's beat the market or not, because he shows he shows total return, not year by year. So you want to get in that game, fine, but he's showing you like he can invest, right?
Yeah.
Meaning profitable investments. Unlike a lot of these people can't show you any investments that make money. And
he hasn't blown himself up for sure.
No. I don't know really what Kevin's invested in that's made money. I mean, he's like so proud. He put up that he made like 50 grand shorting Tesla that one day, and he's laughing about it. It's like he's lost millions of dollars investing in Tesla recently.
Yeah.
Like who gives a shit about that short-term contract? That doesn't alleviate the millions of dollars he's lost because he bought Tesla at the top. But no one, it's just the polished people fall for the trap. That's why there's salespeople that do really well. They know what to say and convince you. The Wolf of Wall Street guy. Kevin would love to be the Wolf of Wall Street. He would have loved that. Yeah,
hopefully without the
he would have loved to be a criminal like that big. He wouldn't have cared as long as he was rich and powerful. He wouldn't have cared if it was against the law. So, oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like he's a trader. He's he's not any. He's just he's a flavor of the month. Whatever gets him views. It's a shame people fall for it. So you're saying is all Paul's gains make no difference. Well, he can never recover from that Nvidia short.
That was
Jesse, we ran minimum. He lost $10 million.
Yeah.
It was like 9. I think it was 9.5 when we ran it the final day.
And I think it was a conservative estimate too.
That was a conservative estimate.
Yeah.
He lost $9.5 minimum million on that trade. I mean, you can never recover from that.
Yeah.
But he'll pretend it never happened, right?
Yeah. Like it sounded like he got margin called along the way too. So it's like then we got to factor in more.
He had to keep putting. It's not really margin call though. It's he had to keep filling the pot because he had to have enough cash in his account to buy those shares if those contracts got executed. So so I guess you could call that margin. He had to keep contributing money as Nvidia went up. So his banker was calling him quite a bit, I'm sure, for that stupid trade. They look at on Graham's face when Kevin sold his entire portfolio and was talking going all in. PayPal was permanently. Kevin wanted to go. Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Of course he would have. But he sold everything. I was there for all of it. He says he intentionally sold because of some metrics. It's all bullshit. He panic sold because his portfolio of unprofitable stocks started tanking in 21, and I think he freaked out and he bailed on it. So none of it makes sense. None of it holds up to his explanation. So I'm glad I asked him it in an Echo live stream once, and he lied his answer. I'm like, so you just admit you panic sold your portfolio 21, 22. He's like, no, I didn't. Interest rates, rah, JPOW. Oh, okay. Oh my God. All right, this is going too long. I got to play some Chivalry before bed.
All good. Thanks for having me on, Dan.
Yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week after some fun basketball. So enjoy March Madness, people. Fill your brackets out. I just like to watch. I like basketball and football. So thank you, and no end. Yeah, no end. We'll just go. All right, bye.